This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on a fine Wednesday. Of course, it's a ball game Wednesday, so that means we got to rip through this quick and make as much sense as possible. The Oilers scrimmage today, a little bit of a longer one, apparently even went to overtime, according to the Oilers Nation article by Jason Gregor, breaking down everything that happened when it comes to the scrimmage. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Gregor's thoughts on this scrimmage and kind of extrapolate what it means for the Oilers moving forward. Let me grab you the scrimmage lines for July 15th. It's already July 15th. My goodness. Whew. July 28th is going to be here in no time, and I've got to spend a week up in Cold Lake between then. So, oh boy, check the calendars. Let's go. Let's rip. And hockey's going to be here and gone before we know it. That's kind of the scary part about this. We're all excited about hockey returning, but hockey's going to be gone before we know it. Definitely, if you're new to the channel right now, is your time to hit that subscribe button. You want to make sure you get in before the playoffs get going, and what better time than today, like I'm making the joke about July 15th. So here you go. These are the scrimmage lines for the scrimmage that took place at Rogers Place today for the Oilers. We'll get to the notes on everything a little bit later on, but RNH, McDavid, Kassian, Double A, Drysdale, Yamamoto, Benson, McLeod, Marody, Russell, Benning, Legason, Bouchard, Broberg. That's your pair for those guys. And then, of course, they had Koskinen in net. Team White had Neal, Kara, Chiasson. Then you had Ennis, Sheehan, Archibald, Nygaard, Haas, and Russell. On defense, you had Clefbaum, Larson, and Nurse. Now, this is the problem, right? Obviously, you don't have that extra defender to go around, that fifth defender on the second pair, because... ooh. Yeah, guess what? Caleb Jones still not skating with the main group, but we'll get to that in a moment. Smith in net for Team White. So, let's begin breaking down. Go to OilersNation.com. Now, usually I try to make sure we get some news on Oilers Nation every week, and here we are getting this bit from Jason Gregor, an excellent breakdown on everything that went on at training camp today. Of course, it's the same lines. That's Jason Gregor's first line. He notes that first thing. And this is, as he notes, kind of what Tippett's plan is moving forward. This is, we don't have time to experiment. We're just going to keep this. We're going to hope it builds chemistry, and we're going to roll this against probably the Flames and then into the series against Chicago. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens, or to, I guess, if they're going to scrimmage every single day like the Blue Jays have been doing now live on national television. Going to be interesting to see what happens, right? So we'll get the game recap, which is point number 3 on Jason Gregor's Oilers Nation article titled Oilers Training Camp Day 3. Simple breakdown of it. Team Blue overcame a 3-1 deficit to win 4-3 in overtime. And for you Athanasiou fans out there, he tied it with 40 seconds remaining when Blue pulled the goalie. And Evan Bouchard scored the OT winner. They played over 7 minutes, 5-on-5 overtime. So that's pretty crazy, right? Evan Bouchard out there 7 minutes deep into overtime, scoring the game winner. Now, does that mean anything? Probably absolutely not for Evan Bouchard, because it almost seems from everything I keep reading on Twitter that the Oilers would favor a guy like Phillip Roberge over putting Evan Bouchard on the roster. I doubt that, but I mean, something I saw today on Twitter somewhere, and I mean, I see so much on Twitter every single day. I wish I had more time in a day, but ladies and gentlemen, a guy in the summertime's got to work hard, and of course, you know what? It's not quite hockey season again yet. Got to finish off ball season here before August 1st rolls around. So Athanasiou ripped a one-timer from the right dot on a nice cross-seam pass from McDavid. That is your game tire in that game. Ethan Bear, James Neal, and Ennis scored for Team White, so that's who we need to know on the other side of things, scoring for that team. And then, point 4 follows up on Neal a little bit here. Neal Karachias online had another strong scrimmage. Neal scored and got robbed on a nifty deflection, which, hey, we know Neal can get in front for pucks, and he'll be pivotal there, because if he's not tipping him in, he's going to knock him down and get him in past the goalie like he was early in the season. 8 goals, 6 games. You know the stats. Let's go. While Kara took the puck to the net with conviction on a few occasions, Gregor thinks they could be a matchup advantage against Blackhawks' smaller and inexperienced bottom 6. Here's the thing. These guys, if they're on, Neal, Kara, Chiasson, they can absolutely be a nightmare for anyone. We saw what Jujhar Khaira can do along the boards. Now imagine put him in the center as the strong support guy, and you've got James Neal and Alex Chiasson, two guys who can absolutely use the body to play winning hockey. Whew. Don't kid yourself. In the playoffs, this line, I know give what you will to Jujhar Khaira for flack, but this line put together, veteran guys on each of his wings going into his first playoffs and just told to play a big man's game in the playoffs, there is no better way to have a fourth line succeed than you have in Neil, Khaira, and Chiasson. Straight up. We saw it in the last few games of the season. Looks good. Sorry, petted the cat when I walked in, so nose is itchy, but we are ready to go. That is for sure. Now, point number 6 is on Ryan McLeod. He was noticeable again. His speed catches your eye is what Gregor's tweeting about right now. And today he made some really strong plays at full speed, including dangling around 2 defenders, which led to him getting tripped and awarded a penalty shot. Smith stopped him, but I think McLeod will be in Edmonton in the future, no question in Gregor's mind. And now follow up on Smith. Smith had some huge stops on McLeod, McDavid, and Draisaitl twice. McDavid also rung it off the post once, and Smith has looked good over the past 2 days. Which follows up the report that Mikko Koskinen has been looking fully in form as well the past few days at training camp. So this is good news for Oilers fans all around. If our goaltending is looking as good as it has been reported to, and you know what, the scrimmage games are 4-3, not 8-7 kind of deal, this is good news. We'll move on. Yes, the lines are stacked and balanced the right way, but let's go. It's good news for us. McLeod, Maruti, Benson line scored the first 2 goals for Team Blue, and Benson had both, including a nifty move to slide it past Smith. They did not look out of place at all, so if these guys need to fill in, next man up kind of deal, they can and they will. Caleb Jones still yet to skate with the main group, and this is what I mentioned right off the top. Caleb Jones, a lot of other guys around the league doing this. Caleb Jones would not be on the ice if it was COVID-19 related. Caleb Jones is hurt. That is the only way to go about this. I don't know if I'm breaking news here or saying something. Caleb Jones, if he's not skating with the main group going in the scrimmages and he's on the ice at Rogers Place, he is hurt. What the injury is, unfit to practice is all we can be told. But Caleb Jones definitely is hurt because you don't imagine that Phillip Roberge is the 5th defenseman on a squad in a scrimmage and you don't have Caleb Jones out there. So if Caleb Jones is out there skating, I imagine it's probably an upper body injury. Oh, you know those UBIs and LBIs of the playoffs? Yeah, no longer a term because of unfit to practice. But you know what? It's probably a UBI, upper body injury, and we'll move on. Caleb Jones, he's got still 2 weeks to go before we worry about Caleb Jones not being playoff ready, so we won't worry too much about that. And Gregor finishes it off by talking about Phillip Roberge and how he's starting to come into form with the Edmonton Oilers during these games. Of course, adjusting to being, I don't know why I took that down, sorry guys, adjusting to being in NHL training camp against NHLers, not against fellow peers trying to make a spotlight in the prospect pool, I guess, roster space, prospect pool. Come on, make it simple. So, I guess to round it all up, again, another busy day at camp, and we'll round it up with what Jack Michaels has also tweeted, because it's always good to get information from 2 or more sources. I know a lot of people don't do that nowadays, but 2 or more sources is important. So, let's go over to Jack Michaels. And actually, hold on, breaking news. The Oilers have loaned defenseman Dmitry Samorukov to CSKA Moscow for the year. We already knew that. We aren't going to cover that. That's no worries. And, of course, Dave Tippett not included in the Jack Adams Awards finalists. Ethan Bear not included in Rookie of the Year Calder Trophy stuff. So, end of the day, you know what? Busy day on the ice. Absolutely, on the ice for the Edmonton Oilers. And how good is that? Full scrimmage, an overtime game, fun times, and that is huge for our Edmonton Oilers to get going into things here because, ladies and gentlemen, we are, like I said, 2 weeks away, now 13 days away from getting things going back on the ice against another hockey team in a game that doesn't mean anything, but it means a lot to seeing what the Oilers look like against other competition when it comes time on August 1st to play the Chicago Blackhawks at 1 p.m. So my friends, you enjoy your evening. Have a good one. I'm going to go play ball. Maybe catch you for a video a little bit later on, but I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. I still don't know what ones the videos are in the whole thing here, but feel free to click on something and watch something here later on tonight. And definitely, if you've missed anything, catch on up. Hit that subscribe button, leave a like, all that good stuff. We got a long way to go. I'm getting tired already, but it's going to be a good run, guys. Ball games will stop once playoffs start, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to head on out of here.